Is Europe really pushing for peace in Ukraine or prolonging the war? That's the question now being raised by the Kremlin. Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov has openly challenged Europe's credibility as a mediator, saying European leaders remain far from ready to play a neutral role in efforts to end the conflict. Speaking in Moscow, Peskov argued that genuine mediation cannot begin with preconditions imposed on one side. According to the Kremlin, several European governments have already taken positions that make them participants in the conflict rather than impartial brokers. Moscow says this approach is unacceptable if peace talks are to move forward.
There is no exact date for their visit to us yet, but at the same time, naturally, we would be happy to see them here in Russia at any time. As for the Europeans' role as mediators, it seems they are still far from being ready to act as such. Firstly, starting mediation efforts by putting forward some conditions to Russia is probably illogical, incorrect, and, of course, unacceptable for us. Most importantly, as far as we can see, the Europeans much prefer to focus on continuing the war rather than on peace negotiations.
The remarks come at a sensitive moment. US-led diplomatic efforts have slowed, prompting questions about whether Europe could step in to revive negotiations. But the Kremlin appears unconvinced. Peskov claimed that European capitals are focusing more on sustaining Ukraine's military campaign than creating conditions for a negotiated settlement. At the same time, Moscow stressed that communication channels with Washington remain active. Peskov said contacts between Russian and American negotiators continue through existing mechanisms. He also noted that direct conversations between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump can be arranged quickly if necessary, although no call is currently planned.
President Putin and President Trump hold phone calls when necessary. Such conversations can be arranged quite promptly. At the moment, there is no conversation on the agenda, especially since each conversation must be well prepared. As you correctly noted, the mediation process on Ukraine's issue is currently on hold. Meanwhile, U.S. negotiators are maintaining contact. Contacts continue, both with us through existing channels and with the Ukrainians.
The message from the Kremlin is clear. Russia does not see Europe as a neutral peacemaker. By questioning Brussels' willingness to mediate, Moscow is signaling that any future diplomatic breakthrough may depend less on European involvement and more on direct engagement between Russia and the United States. As the battlefield war continues, the battle over who gets to shape peace talks is intensifying as well.